What's up, everybody? Tim Charron here. You are in the Charron Zone. I'm going to talk today about the critical things that you might not be considering if you want to get better gigs. If you want to get better paying gigs, bigger, more important, where you're treated better, whether it is in music for you as a singer or a band, or if it's in acting. This is real life stuff that I'm doing every day, and I just want to share it with you, and hopefully it helps. Let me know, drop a comment. Make sure you share this, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe. I really think that these things are important. Nobody taught me this stuff. Nobody taught me this stuff. I learned the hard way, and I'm a singer, touring recording artist, an actor, and I own a booking agency. And when I first, well, not even when I first started, but through about 8 years of my music career, I hated booking. I hated booking myself. I could not stand it. Um, it's tough. I realize it's really tough to book yourself, whether you're an actor or a musician. Um, but I made a big decision. One day I was reading a great book, that kind of a self-help book, and I read this one chapter for the 30th time, and it really just hit me. If you want to know what that book is, drop me a comment. If you want me to go over what exactly that little chapter or paragraph said, drop a comment. I'll do a separate video on it. But today I just want to get right to the meat of it. Um, it's not super sexy. It's actually the opposite of super sexy. But if you're listening to this on audio only, so I am here in Miami. There is a massive ice storm in Nashville, preventing me from coming back, and I'm on the water in the sun at my friend's unbelievably beautiful home that looks like a little mansion, with the pool and jacuzzi and a tiki hut right on the water and the palm trees and the flowers. And I just got, I came down here to do some gigs at a private resort in the Florida Keys in Key Largo near Key West. Um, and it is just fabulous, working with these people and all the relationships that I've built up, and the fun shows that I get to do, and I get paid very well. Um, I kept moving my trip, and I've been down here for like a few weeks now, and then they offered me another private gig down in the Florida Keys. So I say all this to just give you the secret. I mean, it's kind of a secret because nobody talks about it. Like I said, nobody explained any of this to me. It took me, it's been about what, 18 years since I've been a professional musician, and I had to learn all this stuff the hard way. So the bottom line is, and my whole point of this video, hopefully this helps you at least a little bit, nudge you in the right direction. So I woke up this morning, um, went for a quick run, and my whole plan is to very, very unsexily sit at my computer and do a bunch of paperwork, so to speak, on digital paperwork. So that's my very unsexy secret. If you want better gigs, be ready, willing, and able to do more and more, whatever you want to call it, business administration work, paperwork, just filling out contracts, invoices, um, government forms. So I've been booking amazing gigs. Think about, okay, just for musicians, right? If you go do a solo gig, how much money do you make? Ask yourself, how much money do you make, right? Um, so, and I'm not bragging, I'm just proving a point, okay? And it took me forever to get to this point where I'm doing this. But for a solo gig, if you're not making $1,000, $1,500 for a 3-hour solo gig, then definitely take into consideration what I'm talking about and what I'm suggesting. So, I deal with um, a lot of cities, a lot of municipalities, a lot of resorts, things like that. And they have, one city in particular, the city of West Palm Beach. They require you to they send you a form and you have to go get it notarized. So you have to go to the UPS store or a notary and get that form notarized. Otherwise, you can't perform there. Um, the same, they also require you to fill out the contract, print the contract out, sign it with a real signature. You can't e-sign it, and then scan it and then send it back, which is totally fine because think about this. When you're sitting here doing this relatively tedious task, right? You're doing some paperwork, you're doing some scanning and some filling out these forms and sending in your W-9 and you're setting up your LLC. You should have an LLC set up and then do everything under your business name and your EIN number. Again, if you have any questions about this, drop a comment. Or if you have any suggestions about this, drop a comment. Okay. When I'm doing this stuff, I sit there and I think, I'm making a lot of money doing what I love to do, which is play music or doing acting gigs. And this is the small part of the job that is making all the difference. Believe me, it makes all the difference because if you do step up and get an opportunity to work with a city and do a big festival for a city, right? And then they are requiring you to, you know, send them an invoice, send them a contract, go get something notarized, these things, and you're not prepared for it, you're not going to get that gig. Insurance. I've had places, I've had clients, bands of mine under my agency that didn't know how to get insurance. I just had to figure out how to get one-day insurance a few weeks ago. It was a little frustrating, but when you're making 10 times the amount of money, 20 times the amount of money as you used to, that little extra work is so worth it. And you get the opportunity to work on, play on bigger stages, bigger crowds, built-in crowds, sell more merch, get better video and content. It means everything. If you're in this, if you really feel like you are talented enough to make it, these things are make and break. These things are the difference between playing at little bar gigs, which I've done a billion of, but the difference between playing at little bar gigs for the rest of your life and not going anywhere that you want to go, um, and making it to the bigger stages, bigger content, once you get bigger opportunities, you gain momentum and you will get more and more bigger and bigger opportunities. So it comes down to the unsexy work of doing the extra paperwork. If you have any questions about hit me up, DM me or something. I can do coaching sessions where I will share my invoice with you and you can just copy it and put your info in it. I mean, I had to figure all this stuff out myself. It took me years. My contracts, all of those things I can help and coach you with, amongst many other things. Also, this works for acting. I'm signing with a new agency. They sent me a bunch of paperwork that I'm going to be doing today, and I'm doing it happily because I'm going to get, so much more success from just doing these simple things. All right. So I'm Tim Charron. I really hope this helped. If you have any comments or have any questions, just drop them down there. Thank you very much. Enjoy the view.